guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's vlog, or rather video, is going to be a vlog about how I'm currently moving into my very first apartment. It's very exciting. This is my bedroom. I'm not done with all this stuff. I still have to unpack the lamps and just make up my bed. I'm going to show you what it looks like on the other side, but my family's with me currently and this is where the noise is. There's a whole lot of stuff and that's my sister. But I will try to vlog as much as possible. It's actually been a lot and I've been trying to do all of this with work because I'm actually going to work tomorrow. And then on Tuesday I am on call. So I'm gonna see what kind of content I can get for you guys this year. I really want to start with YouTube again. I'm really excited. But I hope that you enjoy this video and please do not forget to like, comment and subscribe. So I actually got this from Works. This is just the sheet, and then everything else is also from either Woolworths or H&M because I just liked the minimalistic colors, either like grey or white and black. Those are like my neutral, very nice colors that I really love. So yeah, I'm just gonna be making my bed basically. I'm just gonna show you guys a quick tour of a large reason as to why I got this place. So this is the gym. Sorry, my outfit of the day is that I'm wearing leggings and sports bra. But the reason why I got this place was the convenience of it all. Literally in this apartment building, there's a gym, there's a laundry, there's a co-working space that I just showed you guys as well. And for me, like not having a lot of time to actually go out and do other stuff, I think that this is the most convenient place to live for now. I'm only leasing it for about 6 months and then I'll decide whether I want to stay or whether I want to move again. But I'm actually very happy with it. It's very modern and like it's full of young people, which I like as well because it's just a vibey type of area. Yeah, I will try to show you guys the apartment tour a little bit later, but I think that for now I can't really do one because I'm not really settled in yet, and I'll do a proper apartment tour once I've gotten all the like the furniture that I want and all the stuff that I want, because currently it's not looking the way I want it to. So yeah, this is pretty much just the gym that I go to.
Me and you got that good, yeah, but I'm running like I'm lost in the woods, yeah. I don't really care, 'cause I just like it here.
I've actually been living by myself now for about a week and it's been very nice. Having your own space just gives you the freedom to decorate the way you want to, do the things that you want to, and I just love it. So I actually recently did a Q&A on Instagram, basically just asking people to ask me questions about what they're interested in to find out. A lot of them were based on what I'm doing currently, which is my internship year. So for the people that don't know, I recently graduated about a month ago and I am a fully fledged doctor. But part of being a doctor in South Africa means that you have to do 2 years of internship at a public hospital in South Africa. What this means is that we are basically based in a public hospital for 2 years and we are continuing our in-service training. It allows us to then finally become independent practitioners where we will be able to work in private, we can start our own practices if we want to, and we can also work abroad. So The sky's the limit, and yeah, I'm actually really excited to answer some of these questions, and I hope that you enjoy this video. So the first question that I got was, what specialty do I want to go into? So this is a very difficult question for me to answer currently, because I think that so much has changed from when I was a student until now. What has changed has been particularly what I want out of life. And I think that when I first got into medicine, I was very excited and super into the idea of becoming a plastic surgeon. It was my dream, and I think to a large extent it is still something that I would want for myself. However, surgeons do not have lives. And I'm not trying to be dramatic about it, but literally becoming a surgeon basically means that you are dedicating an extra maybe five to 8 years to this profession, to becoming a surgeon. The hours are hectic, and it's a very highly competitive field to get into. So I mean, I can't say that I definitely would not want to do it, but I do think that for me, I am prioritizing all the things that make me happy in life currently. So whatever brings me joy, that's where I'm going. So I don't know where my life is going to take me currently. I'm still using internship as the 2 years where I will feel myself find out what I really want out of life and what I want to specialize in. But I think that I would choose something that would be very conducive to allowing me to do other things outside of being a doctor. A lot of the free time that I would want to do, which includes traveling or just having a side business as well. I think that I'm very multifaceted, and I've not only wanted to be a doctor, I've always just thought of other things that I think that I'm really, really good at. And I think that being a business owner is something that I'd also want to have as part on that list of my goals. So for now, I think that I'd be really interested in dermatology. I am also thinking of ophthalmology. The reason I choose these is because the quality of life is very, very, very good. You have good working hours, you have time to do other things, and you are earning quite well as a doctor. And I mean, it's still doing something that I really do love, and that's working with people and just providing health services. And so I think that's where I will be going if life goes according to plan. The second question I got was, how is my internship going? Whew, this question. So internship is hectic, guys. Internship is hectic. There's no specific way of describing how it is going. Basically, I spend about 6 days I guess 6 days out of 7 at work. And these are not just chilled hours. I start my work day at around 7 o'clock or 7:30, depending on the day and how hectic the job that I'm going to be doing in the wards is going to be. Then it can end at like 4 p.m. if I'm lucky. Sometimes, or majority of the times, I actually finish work around 5:30, because we have handover rounds which take so long. So for context, I'm basically doing my gynecology or my obstetrics and gynecology rotation for 3 months. So right now I have about a month and a half left of it. Very hectic hours. Becoming an obstetrician or gynecologist is a very commendable job, to be honest, because the hours are very, very hectic, and you are dedicating your life to your career. That's what you are basically doing. So yeah, I mean, I am based at a hospital that I wanted. I'm based at a hospital in Johannesburg, and I'm very happy that I got what I wanted. It's an academic hospital, and it's actually quite serious. It's a very, very straightforward hospital. I've made some, new friends at my hospital, some other interns. So I really am enjoying it. It's very different to Cape Town, however, but it's not like a completely bad different. It's just an adjustment to being a doctor. I think that the responsibility of understanding that these are patients that are solely dependent on you is also a very, very big deal. It's different to being a student, because as a student, you can leave the hospital, you can leave the ward, and maybe the patients haven't been managed properly, but nothing is really going to happen to you. There's no proper repercussions. But as a doctor, that's you. Your signature's there, your name is there, your stamp is there, and people can go and check, and like it's a very big deal to sue people. It's a very big deal to get litigations as a doctor. So we always have to be super extra careful about making sure that we treat patients as adequately and as well as possible. And then this question was, how many kids do I want? Very random question, but I think that I want one child, and the reason why I want one child is because I feel like I want to give my one child everything in the world. If you want to travel the world, that's me. I'm gonna travel with my child, and I just think that it's such a nice way to raise a child, for them to be able to have your undivided attention and the things that I think that I probably didn't have growing up. But yeah, I think that I would be very content with one child. I don't see myself with more than that, to be very, very honest. The fourth question is, when am I coming back to YouTube? Guys, I don't know how many times I was asked, when am I going to be consistent on YouTube? When am I coming back onto YouTube? And I really do appreciate your guys' support. I really, really, really do appreciate the love that I get. And I know that's why I'm getting these questions. So to answer this is that I am trying to be a lot more consistent. It's just that I've had so much change in such a short space of time that I moved provinces, had to move back home because I moved and I stayed with my family for about a month while I was trying to find a place or trying to find my own apartment closer to work. Not only that, I'm trying to find furniture. It's just a whole lot of adjustment. On top of that, I'm working the very hectic hours at work. So there hasn't been time for me to actually sit down and really feel like, oh my gosh, okay, I can be on camera now. I can do YouTube. It actually takes a lot of effort to be on YouTube. It's not just putting a camera on you. You also have to be in a really good space mentally and emotionally. And I want to give myself the best version of myself. Instead of me just showing up anyhow, I actually want to try my best. And that's why it's very difficult for me, because it actually does require a lot of work. But I am hoping that I can be a lot more consistent. I do want to do weekly vlogs. I just need to see how that's gonna work with my work schedule, to be honest, because I can't really show you guys what goes on in hospital. It's very hectic, and not only that, not only do I not have the time to actually show you what goes on in the hospital, I'm also just not trying to get into trouble. There's patient confidentiality that I need to maintain. I need to maintain a certain level of professionalism at work as well. So vlogging in a hospital and vlogging with new colleagues and vlogging just in general when I'm meant to be working is just not something that I see myself being able to do anytime soon. Maybe if I'm doing something a lot more chilled, like a clinic day, or maybe I'm doing a rotation that doesn't require so much effort every single moment of my day, then maybe I can try it, but we will have to see. The fifth question is, what advice would I give to a second year medical student? So wow, this question is very important for people that are studying medicine, because wow, second year is one of the toughest years in medical school. I think that the toughest years that I had in medical school were both second year and final year. Second year was challenging because you are now going into the very heavy hitting theory blocks in medical school. The level and the amount of work that you are being given is insane. It's insane. And I remember that's when my mental health dipped. I literally just stopped going to the gym, stopped taking care of myself. I was so stressed and I didn't know how to manage or to cope with the level of work and the level of pressure that was coming my way. So my advice for second year is to get a very strong supportive unit. For me, these were my friends in university. So I lived in Res, luckily, and it helped me a lot because we would study together, and not only just study together, we lived together. And so if you're going to class with the same people, you're going back to Res and you live with people, you are up at 2 a.m. and you're studying, and you know that you're not alone because your friend in the next room is also up at 2 a.m. studying, or we're all sitting in the kitchen and we're all studying together, or we're all going through past papers. There's something that happens that just pushes you, that gives you the motivation and the feeling that you can do this, that you can actually get through it. So a very strong supportive structure is what I would say got me through second year. If my family was closer and I wasn't studying in Cape Town, definitely my family would have been the support structure as well. So I think that just finding a supportive structure is the best thing that you can do. That's the best thing you can do for yourself, and believe in yourself. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And then the sixth question was, if you work 24-hour shifts, how does that work? Do you get 24 hours off afterwards? So 24-hour shifts basically means that we start working at 8 a.m. Say, for example, I start working at 8 a.m. on a Monday, and then I finish work at 8 a.m. the next day, which is on a Tuesday. So the answer is yes and no. We kind of get the day off that day because we are post-call. We are off of hospital for the day. However, it honestly doesn't feel like it's enough. It never feels like it's enough. It's so exhausting to not sleep for 24 hours. You're on your feet, you're running around, you're dealing with emergencies. And like something happens to you around like 2 a.m., your level of energy just drops. And that's when I usually have to take an Energade or an energy drink, because I need something to boost myself. My mental capacity and concentration drops completely. So yes, you do get the 24 hours off, but honestly, I spend most of that time just sleeping because I don't have energy to do anything else. I sleep for about 4 to 5 hours that day, and then if I have plans later that day, that evening, then I do that. But half of the time, I'm literally just in bed because I'm that tired. Okay, seventh question is, what is the worst part about your job? It's gonna tie in with what the person that asked about the 24-hour shifts. The worst part about my job is doing calls. Calls are just not healthy. Calls are not conducive to being a normal human being. If I could definitely take something away from being a doctor, I would take away calls. It's not fun, it's not normal, and I don't think it should be happening, but yes, they do happen. And then the eighth question was, do I have any advice for a high schooler? Sure, this question. So my advice to high school students is to have an open mind, to not put so much pressure on yourself, but to also believe in yourself. I think that high school was such a tumultuous time. Well, I don't know, for me it was. I don't think I knew myself at all. I was very confused, and I think that I was being pulled in so many different directions. And so I didn't know myself very well. So I think that it's very important to stick to your core roots of what you know you're gonna be good at. Don't go into a field that you know you're not gonna be good at. Don't go into a field that is going to appease other people. And also choose your friends wisely. Choose your friends wisely. I am still best friends with the people that I was in high school with. We hang out all the time. We are so different from one another, exceptionally different from one another. But there's just something about forming very solid, genuine friendships with people that are not going to pull you and, kind of take you astray from what your goals are. They believe in you. They're not jealous of you. You're not jealous of them. It's a very genuine and authentic relationship, and I think that's the best thing that you can do for yourself in high school. Number 9 was, how do you manage schoolwork and modeling? I think this person thinks that I'm still in university, but I will try to answer. So right now, I haven't been modeling. I'm not with a modeling agency in Johannesburg. And that's simply because I just don't see how it's going to work out. in terms of time and time management. I don't mind doing social media work. I already do some work with Instagram boutiques and Instagram brands, and I think that that's the level of modeling that I will probably go into. If I work also on YouTube and I model things on YouTube, then that's going to be my modeling. But actually going out to castings and going out to do commercials, I really don't know how I would be able to manage that unless I get an opportunity and it's curated for me and my time and my schedule, because I simply don't have the time to go to a casting and wait in long lines and hope I get the part, or I get the opportunity to model something. So I will have to see. I don't really have an answer for this one yet. Question 10 is, for how long do you remain an intern until you are able to practice on your own and do you get paid? So I think I answered this at the beginning. We are interns for 2 years, and yes, you do get paid. You get paid as a doctor. You are a doctor. When I say intern, you are a doctor. You are just interning at a hospital for the 2 years to get your independent practice number. So you can open up your own practice if you want to. And yes, we get a salary. That's the fun part about working and being an intern. You're not working for free like a student. But definitely trust me, we work for that salary. We work for that salary. I know that people would say that doctors get paid quite well. And I think that for a startup, it's a very good salary. But I also think that it's just way too much work for the amount that we earn. The hours are hectic, yes. Okay, question number 11. What word of advice do I have for somebody who's probably losing their spark in whatever they do best? Okay, so I guess how I'll answer this is what I do when I feel like I'm losing my spark. And this was happening to me at the end of last year, towards the end of final year, or actually the middle of final year, during the lockdowns and COVID and final exams, and just the anxiety and stress of not knowing whether I was going to graduate on time, not knowing whether I was going to graduate at all, not believing in myself, not trusting myself, not believing that I'd ever be a doctor, because in my mind it felt like such a far off thing that I put this huge goal and I was never going to get there, because it felt like it was never going to happen. I would say that I would call it imposter syndrome, and I think that it happens a lot to medical students, not just medical students, doctors, anybody in the medical field, I think, because it's such a highly competitive field to be in, and we have a very toxic culture of people really looking down on others or looking down on juniors. Or if you don't know certain information, everybody just thinks that you're stupid, and that's not the case. I think that everybody knows something about something, and don't berate me, rather teach me. And so unfortunately, that is the culture that is in medicine. To answer this question is that I think that I'm a strong believer in affirmations and vision boards and seeing what you believe until it becomes a reality. What I mean is, when I did feel really down, I would make sure that I look at all the quotes and all the things that I use to uplift me in general, and I usually get these from Pinterest. I also have a vision board. I always make a vision board every single year, and I think that it's one of the strongest ways of uplifting yourself and visualizing the life that you want for yourself. It might not all come true, and that's the thing about vision boards, but something very close to that might happen. And I think that that's better than just sitting and being in the same position that you were in forever. And I think that the most important thing as well is to find the things that bring you joy, find the things that make you excited about life, that make you happy. If that's you going to the beach, if that's you going shopping, if that's you meeting up with a friend, if that's you gaming, because I know I play Sims to shut off the rest of the world sometimes. I play Sims on my PC and I love playing Sims. Not just that, I love going to the beach. Those small things for me allow me to just relax, and not just that, remind me that life is so much bigger than my problems. Life is so much bigger than dealing with the anxiety that I'm dealing with at the moment, and to always remember that everything eventually works out. We don't really know how it does, or in that moment it feels like the biggest thing ever, but they eventually do work out. Okay, the next question is, how many calls do you have for the month, and do you get paid for overtime hours? So I'm doing obstetrics and gynecology, so we have about 6 or 7 calls per month. So we are working so there's 2 weekends in a month that I'm working. So I'll work maybe on a Saturday one weekend, and then the other weekend I'll be working on a Sunday. But generally I have about 2 calls per week. And these are usually 24-hour calls. They are very exhausting. You can tell they are exhausting. I'm still tired even now, and I had a call the other day, and I'm going to be on call on like 2 days from now. I'm already exhausted. Do we get paid overtime? So we do get paid overtime for the calls, but there's actually a lot of administration issues right now. Being a doctor in South Africa, we haven't been paid our overtime hours, and not just that, some people haven't been paid at all for the month of January. So they always say, oh, it's an administration issue, it's something to do with new interns, and they haven't been put on the database. But honestly, I just don't understand how, you do such a big and such an important job, and yet you're not being paid your salary. It's a very unfair system. And so I think that it's also something that people should really be cognizant of, that nothing is perfect. And I know that people see doctors and you think that it's such a respectable job. And yes, it is. It's such a respectable and such a fulfilling job. And I love what I do, but there's a lot of drawbacks, particularly being in South Africa. There's still a lot of issues that, yes, even doctors are facing currently. Question number 14. Do you get nauseous or have anxiety when in hospital? And how do you deal with such moments? I think this person is asking me whether when I see patients, do I get anxious or do I get nauseous with what I do? So generally, I'm not a very squeamish person. I haven't really been. I don't mind seeing blood. I don't mind touching blood. I don't mind seeing organs or things, or cutting, bodies and everything. That doesn't bother me. I don't mind surgery. I actually love surgery. So no, I haven't actually gotten nauseous. I think the only times I've ever gotten nauseous were related to smells, because I'm very, very sensitive to smells. So I think that would be the only time that would be something that's quite jarring. The anxiety that I feel is only associated with knowing that I'm working with people's lives, and how important I have to be very careful, because I'm working with people's lives. I always have to read up on something that I don't know. I can't just make flippant decisions because this is someone's life. I think that's what makes me anxious, definitely. Oh wow, it's been a long night. Let me drink some water. Cheers to 2021. Okay, question number 15. What is the most exciting experience at work thus far? So I answered this question on my Instagram, and I think that for me, the most exciting experience so far is doing C-sections and bringing life into the world. When we deliver the babies, we are the people that carry the baby, or basically pull the baby out. We cut the umbilical cord, and you're right there at the Home Affairs form that you delivered the baby. It's a very beautiful thing. So I really do enjoy surgery. I think that it's one of the most fulfilling parts of being a doctor for me. I really love being in theater. I don't know what it is. It excites me. Another thing is just knowing that, you're doing such an important job. I think it's just part of the whole experience. I've always wanted to live a very intentional life. I've always wanted to be happy and to bring happiness to others, and I think that that's why I'm a little bit more fulfilled in my job than if I just didn't love it, because it's very difficult to be a doctor if you don't like what you're doing. It's going to be very, very difficult. The last question is, how does it feel to finally be a doctor, and what are your core values? So how does it feel? It feels unreal. It feels unbelievable because it took me so long to get here. It took me 6 years of studying and being stressed and wondering whether I'd ever get out of medical school. So it's a beautiful feeling to reach one of your big goals. I am really proud of myself. And not only that, I'm really proud and I'm happy that I was able to not only do this for myself, but to do this for my family as well. I'm the very first doctor in my entire family. And I think that I've inspired a lot of people, or a lot of my family members, especially my younger cousins, and they look up to me, and they don't necessarily want to also be doctors, but that, you know, whatever you put your mind to, you can actually achieve, despite where you come from and despite what your challenges may be. So yeah, it is beautiful to actually live my dream. And what are my core values? My core values are that sure. I think that I just want to bring joy to people, and to live an intentional life, and to live a life full of passion and compassion and experiences. Those are my core values. I think that that's what I've carried throughout my life. Those are the things that make me happy. Those are the things that make me me, and I've always been very true to myself. Sometimes obviously falling off when I don't know what I want to do, when I'm a little bit confused, but generally those are my core values. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. It's very chilled, very very informal. I'm sitting here drinking lemon water and just chatting to you guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm going to be bringing up more content for you guys. And yeah, I hope that you guys, please do not forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.
Want you to be my vice.